G'day everyone, I'm Ben from Catch Pro Australia, and this is Lawn Care Skull Sessions with my co-host, the bearded lawnsman, freshly shaven. We never get to see the shaven
Wait,
Haven.
check it out. I haven't even got a hat on today. That was the first thing I was going to say to you is like, look at my head. It's so shiny. It's
I
like
love it.
proper shaven Haven.
Now, before we get too far into it, people who are viewing this content will be like, yo, these dudes aren't together.
Yeah.
And it's my bad. I came down with a little fluey cold.
Passing some sheep at the farm.
And obviously we don't want to risk BJ getting sick, when we've got technology, right?
Yeah, Brian, I'm packing bags right now to go to Melbourne. So I'll probably bring some Kofifi back from down there.
Oh, you're not talking about, sorry. I thought you meant like Coke.
Oh, no, some Kofifi 19.
Anyway, to be honest, I actually feel pretty good, but
You
it's
sound
actually
way better. You sounded bad yesterday. I thought, oh no, he's going down like James Brown.
Didn't have the best day yesterday, but I've all loaded up on Nurofen, Panamax. I made myself a cappuccino latte.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Because I'm a fucking barista now.
Yep.
So anyway, BJ, well, actually, I was just about to kick off today's episode, but I wanted to ask you a question about your head.
Yeah.
So can you, because obviously you're bald and you skin it like that because you're going bald, is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's terrible. Can you grow a mohawk in the middle?
No, because it's this patch right here. It's like the frontage. It's like It's like someone scalped the front and let the back grow. Like a proper old man.
Do you think you could remember Bolton from Heartbreak High?
Yeah, I could do the two. I could do the two for sure.
Right.
They'd be a bit thin at the front. Across the front, they'd be a bit thin, but no, I reckon. You know what? I got this done, and the last time I was at a barber, I was in Chicago. I got this done, and it cost me $80 still. I'm like, fucking my hair was already like a zero. Like I only shaved my head like 3 or 4 days ago. And then he's gone over it with his special clippers. And that hot towel treatment fucking costs a fortune.
If you did like the side banger, I could do the middle one, and then it would look like we sort of like headbutted each other.
Oh my God, we could be like men Lego. You'd fit inside me so snug.
Oh, stop it. All right, let's get on to today's episode because it's like nighttime. I'm like hell thrashed. You've probably got stuff to do.
Yeah.
But we have a fun episode. Now, I want to put it out there that I stole this directly from Corey Ballard and Brian Fullerton. Now, I haven't even done my due diligence. I haven't even seen if this was like an actual podcast they did or if it was just like something for Instagram.
Yeah.
But it's called Bullshit or No Bullshit. And basically we come up with a bunch of questions industry related. Some might be controversial, some might be intelligent, whatever. Some might be dumb as hell. But let's get the topics out there and we'll call no bullshit or bullshit. And maybe we can break down our thoughts on that. What do you reckon?
For sure, bro, for sure. Now, but before we get too far into it, I just saw tonight Luke Smith has announced his podcast, which is exciting.
That is very exciting. And you know what? I think he is like the perfect dude in the industry to have a podcast.
Are you a part, like, have you already done an episode with him or?
No. I haven't done, I just heard about it like everyone else.
So it's called the Australian Lawn and Garden Podcast. I just wanted to make sure I got it right. So it's the Australian Lawn and Garden Podcast, and yeah. So now it's me, you, Gary, and fucking Lukey. We'll have to catch up for a gangbang or something.
How much of an entrepreneur is Gaz? He started it all.
Yeah, fucking out there in front.
At least I don't feel like as much of a dog now that someone else is doing it.
That's all good.
Also, everyone, before we get balling, I have to backtrack over some of my comments that I made last week. Now, there is an upcoming event in my local area that the gyms franchisors are hosting, but it's co-hosted with our local mole shop. Now, I've gone out on air last week and said, hey, 22nd of May, I have to tell everyone it's actually the 5th of May. So I cooped that really bad. Now, if you're a gym's franchise, you probably already know that. The next thing that I cooped was that it's not an open event. Like, if you're not a gym's franchise, please don't come.
But you didn't give an address, so it's sweet.
Love to have you. Yeah, I mean, look, theoretically, but they called me and they're like, yeah, we just listened to your podcast and we're like, you fucked up heaps of shit. And it turns out I actually had it all in an email as well.
Oh, no way. You didn't tell me that.
So, anyway, for any gyms, guys and girls that are out there, we will catch you on the 5th of May. Anybody else, fuck off.
Pretty much.
I don't mean it like that, but one day we will hold a Brisbane event where everyone is welcome.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
By the way, if you're a gym's franchise and you want to see the bearded lawnsman there, just holler at me because I want him to come to the event.
And nah.
So
we better kick this
Beans, are we gonna? Sorry, we're talking over each other. We suck on Zoom.
Yeah,
this is going to be
when we're together too. That's cool. How about you shoot the first question?
Well, do you have an issue with shooting the first question? Because
I
was going
not at all
to do a little bit of rock, paper, scissors action.
Oh, all right. Okay, you ready?
Okay. Yep. Scissors, paper, rock. Oh, dude, I got ya, and I've got mine out already, and you still flung a paper.
Yeah, I did, but I can't see your hands.
Mine
was full blind.
So because I won, does that mean I get to go first, or I get to make you go first?
It's your choice.
All right, I'm just going to set it off, brother.
Yeah.
My first question: 2-man crews are rubbish and don't work.
Bullshit. Straight up bullshit. So we've done this before. We've done this little rodeo before with the 2-man crew. I totally agree with you. I run 2-man crews all the time. I love working in a 2-man crew. And I know that your views are quite similar. I feel like the productivity's there. I can 100% see some other scenarios where a 2-man crew, you might be better with a 3 or a 4, but realistically, 2-man crews are the way I'm going to be pushing my business.
Okay, cool. I won't elaborate any further just because I've sort of already gone on about it, but it was just an easy question to start off. All right, brother, what do you got?
Well, mine is your business will fail if you do not advertise.
Bullshit.
That's where I'm leaning as well.
So the reason why I say advertise, but I still think you can be successful without advertising. So let me just actually, it's supposed to be yes or no questions, right? But do you mean advertising as in paying money to advertise, or are we still
I mean like paying money for
ads?
Anything other than say cards.
Okay, so you can still letterbox drop, cold call.
Yeah.
Okay, I definitely call bullshit then.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
And are you the same way?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think like we laughed about it the other night. Up until like a year ago or something, we'd spent like $60 on advertising for our entire business career.
Oh, so, bro.
It was like 2 Gumtree ads. And I was like, yeah.
What I spend in a month with
Oh, I
Catch
can
Pro
only
is
imagine, dude.
probably no, but it's probably what I spent in 2 decades with Greenscape. You know what I mean? Like everything was a hustle back then. So,
Yeah.
and when I mean hustle, I meant targeted work, and we barely ran ads for anything. And
Yeah.
my best jobs were picked up with no advertising. So I call bullshit.
Yeah. Sweet,
Okay.
man. Your turn.
Now listen carefully. You need to be registered for GST to be called a real business.
Bullshit.
Okay, elaborate.
I feel like $75,000 for somebody might be massive. I know people who are part timers. There's people who are weekend warriors who have great businesses.
Are they real businesses?
Yes.
Are they real businesses?
Yeah. 100%.
Okay. I'm calling straight up no bullshit. Like,
You don't think if
look, this is a really hard one for me because some of our listeners may be in this situation, and I offend people all the time, and I usually don't have an issue with it. But with something like this, I would hate to offend someone over something like this. But I really think if you're only turning over less than 75, then if unless you have no overheads at all, that business is probably not. I just don't want to go too on about it, but I'm calling no bullshit on that one.
wow. So even people who don't. So here's the thing: there's a lot of couples out there that may be working the system in regards to earning a certain amount. So with Centrelink and shit like that. I don't know, man. But is that 75 before deductions?
No, so 70, yeah, you have to be registered for GST to have an annual turnover of 75. So that's your complete turnover dollars. So everything, all your running costs have to come out of that.
Yeah.
And so, let's just say for sakes, you're looking at a turnover of 1,500 a week.
Yeah.
Which gets you to your 75. I think by the time you've taken some money out for fuel, you've paid the tax man, you're probably only really making like $1,000.
Yeah.
And $1,000 just doesn't go far these days.
Well, see, I've been out of the other end. Like $1,000 in the hand for me back when I was working for someone else was still pretty good money.
Different story. And you're going back almost the better part of
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm totally out of touch with that side of the world these days. So, yeah, okay, that's fair.
Your turn, Boo.
All right. If you do not use commercial equipment, you have no business being in business.
Nah, that's no bullshit. I mean, that's bullshit. Fuck. That's bullshit.
Elaborate.
Look, the reason why I think it's bullshit is because you can make money without using commercial grade equipment. Now, I don't think you can be a super successful business running all domestic gear. Like you're gonna have issues.
Yeah.
But I mean, the reason why I say it is the tail end of my business, we were running bush ranger residential gear. And whilst it was only a part of what we were running, it still performed really awesome. Like I could still make money with it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, some of my stuff, like one of my favorite backpack sprayers that we've had forever is like a Sylvanian one from Bunnings. Like, that's not a commercial unit. There's tons of things that aren't commercial on my rig that, get daily use. So,
and I would also put it out there that there would be some prosumer gear that say a contractor might buy brand new, and you might run into another contractor at the tip that's got like a fucking 10-year-old Shindewa snipper that is like conking out halfway. You know, it might be a commercial spec, but it might be a hunk of shit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll call bullshit on that one.
Nice. Me too.
Okay. In the next 8-year period.
Boy, you'll have to repeat that. I cut out for a sec.
Okay, battery equipment will take over in the next 8-year period.
I call bullshit.
Okay.
I feel like battery is an amazing product. I think, yes, it will become more viable eventually. I think that there's always going to be there's always going to be a petrol option. I feel like battery at the moment, we're seeing so many failures with just supply issues at the moment. And this has been like a 2-year issue that is continuously been, it's going to get better, it's going to get better, it's going to get better. And not for all brands, but eventually the stuff is going to get hard to source. And yeah, I think that there'll always be a petrol option.
Now, I am going to call no bullshit on this just because I think the next 8-year period. So I've chosen to make it 8 years because I don't think it's going to happen in 5. But
yeah, I mean, 8 years is a long time.
8 years is a long time, and the way that technology is moving, I mean, we might be able to fly soon, man. Who knows?
Fuck, my kid will be 11. Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, my kids are
probably
they'll be 18, so
yeah. No,
so I can get on the plane.
Yeah, designated drivers, bras.
I don't even drink.
There'll be something new by then.
Yeah. All right, you're up.
All right. So we've gone over this one before, but I just thought I'd throw it out there. You need to have qualifications to be successful.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I knew this one would be a quick, easy one. I'm with you 100%.
No, man, look, we spoke about it and we said that qualifications are a great thing. It will obviously open up some doors, but right now and everything beforehand, man, you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars without being qualified.
Yeah.
So yeah, nip that one in the bud. That's bullshit. All right, I got one for you. You need a ZTR or a stand-on to be successful.
Bullshit. I think bullshit. There's plenty of guys running around with excellent businesses that, they specialize in small push mowing jobs. They bust out 15 a day and make some good money while they're doing it.
Yeah, you cut out a little bit there, but I'll go on to say that I also think it's bullshit. But the reason for that question is because when I spoke to the gym's franchisor, they were saying that, pretty much every gym's operator now, they're urging everyone to have a zero turn because they feel that is going to make them more successful. Really? So it's in their business model now. And I found it really interesting because I just wouldn't have thought, look, I don't want to underhand franchises and stuff because that's not how I feel at all. But you usually just don't see them right at that forefront. I would have thought a gym's structure would have been like, get in there and fucking push mow it and get out and get to the next one. Like I would have thought that they would have still had that same, business mentality, but no. Because see, a lot of the general public, they don't want to see a zero turn on their property necessarily.
Yeah.
And it's because people don't always know how to use them. They're obviously not catching grass a lot of the time. when it's raining, you're leaving marks. All sorts of things can really turn a customer off wanting to use an operator with a zero turn.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think, like, I know a lot of gyms guys down south in Melbourne have a lot of them enter with 36 libs. I've spoken to Rob about that before, and I think like a little 36 Liberty is or like any of the little machines, like little standards and stuff like that. They're very I don't know.
Can you name brands for us, BJ?
There's Wright, there's Gravely, there's Boobcat.
You know what I love about that? Just the mispronunciation is just the best.
Yeah, but any of the machines. But no, honestly, they are a little bit less intimidating than the big units that people will probably associate with zero turn mowing. So maybe that's got something to do with it as well.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember if I've called bullshit or no bullshit, but I think it is bullshit. There's tons of businesses out there, and there's a big market for push mowing still, and you can definitely specialize in it.
Definitely.
Have a look at me, fucking that's your name.
Oh, look at you, all comfortable. Oh, yes, it's my turn. This is a good one. Being super hot or very attractive, whatever you want to call it, will help you in business.
Man. Shit, I reckon it does help.
I 100% think it would help. Or maybe or having a gimmick.
Sorry, yeah. I want to say, look, this is supposed to be like yes or no, right?
Yeah.
But I think where I really feel with this is you don't have to be super attractive or super hot. But I think you have to have that. No, what I think is if you have like that it factor,
yeah,
where people feel comfortable, or let's call it charisma.
Yeah.
I think that is so helpful. So,
well, I mean, that's a part. Like some people are attracted to that. So,
yeah, like I think if you rock up, to anywhere, and you're just like this dull as person who can't hold a conversation, I think it hurts you everywhere in life.
Yeah, I feel you the same way. I think really,
unless you go to one of those like weirdo camps that Shorey goes to, like the little silent camp where you're not allowed to talk for 2 days.
Woo.
I mean, I love that dude, but what the fuck is up with that, eh?
Oh man.
Okay, I got one.
Shoot.
You are behind the curve if you don't use a battery hedge trimmer currently.
Oh,
come on! Who the fuck uses a petrol? Who could honestly say that a petrol hedge trimmer is worth using?
Okay, I'll call no bullshit on that. Like I legit like we only use. Okay, so there's a difference between like doing hedges and doing hedge reductions. I think petrol comes in when hedge reductions are in order.
Use a fucking chainsaw then.
Nah. Like if I'm going to reduce a hedge, I'll get my bushy petrol out with that big Mariama head on it and just yum 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 yum. But I won't throw my stuff that I use for, Buxus and things like that through it. So,
but they're capable of the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're just abusing the bush ranger one.
But it loves it.
It's going to put you up for assault.
There's no proof.
So I am definitely calling no bullshit on this one.
Yeah.
I think if there's anything that makes more sense in the world, it is a battery hedge trimmer.
Yeah.
And if I mean, it's hard. I'm not brand new petrol hedge trimmer I honestly would not accept it. I would
Yeah.
rather
Well, I
spend-
mean, like most of the jobs I've got now, they don't appreciate us with petrol. So I get it. I do.
and
But
I honestly think if you're using a petrol hedge trimmer, you're either one. I don't want to offend people, but I think they're behind the curve. I think they're ignorant towards battery equipment, and they're a hater. Or they just haven't tried it.
yeah.
I mean, money is an
in
issue.
saying
Well,
that,
like,
it is money, like it is a lot of money, like it is a lot to shell out. I
yeah,
think,
and that's why I feel bad because I don't want to call people like I would understand it if someone was like, hey, I'd fucking love to use that, but I just don't have the money to buy one. That would make me feel bad if I knew that.
yeah.
So I won't go too much further, but yeah, essentially I just think you've been living under a rock if you don't use one.
Okay.
I know that I just went back, and back and forth and fucking then jumped on their heads, but
Jeez.
All right, your turn.
All right, my turn. If you don't have employees, you'll never be successful.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I reckon, man. Plenty of dudes out there doing their thing, their solo thing.
Now look, BJ, you can see I've put the camera back down, so I'm in real serious business
Here
here.
we go. Well, we've got 9 minutes and 32 seconds, so get real serious.
Can't we just roll again or not?
Oh yeah, definitely.
We're only halfway through, so okay. Now I think you've got a far bigger ceiling and way more opportunity with employees, but you can still be super successful as a solo operator and even more successful than people that do employ people.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I think it's a lot less stress.
Okay, BJ, next question. Ando the Mando sits down to wee.
I got no idea. I don't have my toilet candos.
Come on, bullshit or no bullshit?
Oh, I reckon no bullshit.
I'm having
no.
I also think no bullshit. All right, what do you got?
Lead services are the only way to grow your business fast.
Sorry, come again?
Lead services are the only way to grow your business fast.
Nah, that's bullshit.
How would you grow your business faster than lead services?
I think you could buy a business. You can. No, I think there's just so many ways. Look, lead services would be a good way, but is it the only way? No.
Well, we didn't even have them.
Okay. Auto mowers will make catch.
Oh no, auto mowers will make Catch Pro nothing. I call bullshit on that.
I also call this bullshit.
It's
Now the reason being is over here at Catch Pro, we don't just sell Catch Pro grass catchers.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah, I mean,
How many
unless these
times
things are going to be walking around with whippersnippers and stuff like that, that could fuck us up.
That's true. There's been a few times where people have said, "Oh, auto mowers will be the destruction of your business."
It was just like one dude. Well, I mean, obviously I started it. And like I said, it was interesting to get, some of the feedback. I think a lot of the feedback that I have seen is more positive than negative.
Okay, well, that's good. That's always a plus.
And there's a lot of, people in my circle, Gary Ashton's one of them, that is very pro auto mowers, and I want to see him succeed.
Yeah.
So, I've also come to the realization that I don't think auto mowers are ever going to really penetrate more than 10% of the actual market.
Yeah, I'm just happy you said penetrate.
Yeah, penetrate. It's not just for sex.
Wait, you know you're a Skag fan when you reach into the drawer in front of you and there's a fucking leopard print mankini. I mean, a tiger print mankini.
Oh,
Oh,
how should smell better?
smells fresh as.
I'd love to
Is
see
it?
Vicky in one, eh?
Oh man, I probably would have stretched it out way too much.
That's right. I'll jump in there with her.
Yeah, double team.
I'll get her to reverse kanga me, and no, don't worry, I won't go on any further.
That was going so bad so quick.
Oh
no!
I think it's your turn.
Yeah, it's my turn. Your business will grow faster if you are a franchise.
Oh, you bastard! This is one of my questions. So
you didn't want
to. Okay, so my question was. Your question's actually better than mine. My question was franchises are better than an independent. So your question was you can grow faster as a franchise, correct?
Yeah. So your business will grow faster if you're a franchise.
I'm going to call no bullshit on that.
Really?
Yeah. Look, I think if you get into a franchise, I think you're probably going to have a more all-round stable business than what you probably would as an indie.
Yeah, but what about how before you referenced people buying businesses and things like that?
There would be exceptions. Yeah, look, I think there would be exceptions, but they're both based on the same model. Like if you buy a business, okay, maybe it's not a franchise, but you're still consuming someone else's business.
Yeah.
A franchise, you're really just doing the same thing. It's just that you're intertwined in that process.
Plus, they have like a guarantee, don't they? Like
lots of them do, yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
So I'm probably going to say no bullshit on that one, bro.
Okay, fair enough. That's what I thought. I wasn't sure about that one. Didn't know which way you'd swing.
Well, I mean, look, I don't know what I think as humans, you can just fuck up any situation, whether it's a franchise or an independent situation. I think it really comes to the person. I do know a lot of white collar workers leave their office jobs after 20 years and they say, I'm going to go buy a gyms or a VIP or something, and they completely kook it. And they're thrown in the deep end.
Yeah.
Whereas I think if some of those same people took on an independent scenario, they at least can grow. Yeah, so realistically, I think in terms of that sort of, but I think the franchise thing, it's pretty easy to be successful. Like everything is already there for you. You just need to follow the process.
Yeah, and I think there's a good circle of people. I mean, this is kind of thinking pre-LMCA. There's lots of people who have made mistakes before you that you can go to in a franchise, but yeah, I'm pretty much the same with you. There'd be different scenarios. Some people would just get into the game with a mad job lined up, like a weekly, like village or something like that. Someone's like, yeah, I'll do it. And there you go. That's your kickoff. So, yeah. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Your turn?
My turn. So, there will be a zero turn or stander manufactured in Australia again in the next 10 years.
Commercial or residential?
Geez, BJ, I don't know.
Because commercial, no bullshit. Residential, no bullshit.
Well, okay. I'm going to call no bullshit on this just because I want it to happen. But can you elaborate on your commercial versus residential theory? Because I'm going to battle on this.
I feel like we, like in Australia, they would target residential customers before they would target commercial customers for a zero turn. I just feel like business wise, that's the direction that they would take.
And
I don't know.
Who's they?
I don't know. Just whoever.
Who's coming out with it?
I don't know. I mean, the only ones who really have the facilities here would be Cox or Bushranger, I think.
And they both, well, to some extent, but they both really don't have it anymore. I mean, Cox, they sold everything. So
yeah, okay.
all the press brakes are gone, laser cutters, powder coater station. They still do some parts there.
Yeah.
For some of their ride-ons.
I mean, there's definitely the know-how, like, but would it be financially feasible to do it here in Australia?
Apparently not. So that's
yeah.
So apparently not, but it's just that these days with shipping,
yeah,
and then my whole theory on all of this, right, is because you talk to all the big distributors and they're like, fuck off, Ben. Think of all of the big distributors. So you got International Mowers, PLP, Cox is now a distributor. You have SME. So you got a few major players there that are virtually, and like you've also got all your conglomerate international ones like Toro, Deere, Husky, Cubs, all that stuff. But mate, you have a think, like if someone manufactured a good zero turn, so it doesn't have, I don't think it has to be the best. Like even if they came up with a fucking Liberty spec or a Raptor spec or something like that, at the end of the day, everything's running the same components. Like if you look at a Liberty or a Raptor or a Gravely HD or whatever these similar models are, there's nothing special about any of them. They're all just running 100 hydro. Like there's no technology. There's nothing that sets them apart. Like when you get up into that full commercial spec, your Turf Tiger, it's shaft driven, or the Super Z is, got crazy hydros, and the Toro has something else. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But if you're talking about in that mid spec, like you are, or that you had mentioned, I mean, you could do it, and everyone would want it.
Well, what do you think is more foreseeable, an Australian made or made and manufactured, or just Australian made where a few of the hoops aren't jumped through and they just import parts from different parts of the world and then put them together here in Australia and do just enough to slap that Australian made sticker on it?
Well, I think no matter what, like your hydros would come from Hydro Gear.
Yeah.
Your engines would come from Kawasaki. So I think all of that is, and all of the seats and stuff like that. But I'm talking about all the frames and the decks.
So the welding and stuff.
All of that stuff, made in Australia, yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said, like...
Will you ever get a zero turn that has like Australian-made hydros or an Australian-made engine? No, I don't think so. That would be dog shit. But I'd just love to see it. I'd love to see it.
I would love to see it as well, but it's just unfortunate the way Australia works is we're a bit of a country that buys in those sort of things. But like even things like, man, we can't even get a fucking car. Like the cars that we want, you go on the website for Toyota, and most of them say like, you know, no, there's no time. Like most other car brands give you like a wait time, like 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. Toyota's just like, man, I don't know, fucking whenever they've finished.
And that's really my point. Like, that's really my point behind everything. So, like, all of these major distributors are struggling to get stock because their portion of the global revenue is only, say, 2% or 10% of the other person's, revenue. Whereas, here in Australia, if you had something that was made in Australia and was actually available, like I said this, maybe a year ago on the podcast, if Cox Mowers hadn't pulled the pin, if they could have waited 6 more months, man, during COVID, holy moly, they would have gone through the roof because nobody could get machines.
Well, in saying that, what would have been the restrictions? I mean, I guess the facilities are here in Brisbane, so we didn't have.
Hey, fucking just you take a handkerchief to work and you fucking go, bro.
It was it was like Sydney, Melbourne who got the shutdowns. But no, I mean, I totally agree with you. It would have been pretty cool to see, even if they were still pumping out tractors.
Yeah, and I think look, this whole topic is not on Cox.
No, it's just an industry as a whole, just a manufacturing industry thing. But it is what it is, Benny. We're gonna have to move on, mate. We're gonna have to move on.
Okay. It's your turn then.
Oh, it's my turn. All right. So this will be a bit of a controversial one. I know you'll like it. If you do not wave back to other contractors, you're a piece of shit.
That's no bullshit, eh?
What do you mean? So do you wave?
Wait, if you do not wave.
No, you're right.
Yeah, I'm right. Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, no, man, you got to bung one up for the boys, eh? And
have
girls.
you seen the fingers that you can stick in the front of your car? Like you can stick them in, like you can stick them up so it always looks like you're giving the old, hey, there you go. They're fucking good value. I think common courtesy costs nothing. You never know when you're going to meet your next best lead. So have a wave and a smile. I feel terrible when I miss people. Like I'll be driving and I'll be fucking in my own world and I'll look up and all of a sudden I've got this fucking hand waving at me. I'm like, oh no. Then I don't get it up quick enough.
I'm useless too. And I totally like, even now, like I don't look like a contractor when I'm driving around now because I'm not towing a rig or anything. And I still see the boys, and like I might not know them. And I'm like, hey, how's it going? They're like, who's this dick nose motherfucker waving at me?
Fuck, you should definitely get the Ram catch bird up.
Yeah, well, I just secured a new marketing demo trailer.
Oh, nice.
So we'll have that up and running, and I mean, it's not like I'm going to tow it around town, much. Well, I mean, we might leave it at Southside for a bit, or maybe we'll park it somewhere for a bit or whatever. But that will be really cool. As far as putting stuff on the Ram, I just don't know if I'm ever going to upgrade. Like I don't really have a reason to upgrade, but when I bought my Ram, I really wanted the next one. It's probably even less achievable for me to get now because of all
the Laramie. Is that it? The 1500 Laramie or something?
I wanted the Laramie, yeah. So I only wanted it because it has a smaller tub and more room for the kids.
Yeah.
There are some other upgrades, but it's not like the full Mad model. But it was a stretch for me at the time, and it's probably going to be even worse now with all the inflation and everything.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit hesitant to get all the catch pro stuff going, just because my car's going to be worth a shitload still when I pay it off. So we'll see how I go.
Yeah, okay.
Nice. Now, this is my last question because you dogged me on one.
Sorry about that.
You still obviously have a question to go.
I got two because
Yeah, okay. That's all right. Now, if we want to just take this as a grain of salt,
okay.
mulching residential lawns is half a service.
All right. Well, I'm going to say bullshit because you don't know what the customer's expectation is, and if they've asked for mulching, then that's what they get.
Does anyone ever ask for their lawn to be mulched?
Well, I know that some people offer both. So, I mean, if you're going to mulch at a cheaper cost, but are you referring to if you?
Yeah, so that's what I mean.
Are you charging them deep that like full price?
Why on earth would someone say like, man, my business is as good as yours, but like, if you want me to catch, I got to charge more. Like, if you want me to mulch, I can do it for this price. It's half a fucking service. Now, I was careful. I said residential.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it is
72-inch deck.
Yeah.
And like catching is a scam. Now, we are in no way, shape, even in Greenscape Solutions, even with Catch Pro Australia, I am not catching any more than like, I mean, I would catch with a Catch Pro, I reckon it's good for up to an acre.
Yeah.
But anything over that, and I'm like, nah, man, you just side throw this shit.
Yeah.
So I'm very careful. I said residential lawns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, you're calling bullshit, eh?
Yeah, I call bullshit on you.
Want to fight?
Yeah. Fucking once you're better. I mean, look, each to their own. I personally don't like mulching, but I have done it. So I'll call bullshit on you.
Did it look as good as you bought it?
What's that?
Did it look as good as you bought it?
No, people who say that mulching is equal quality, like good, like it looks the same. Fuck no. No way.
You know what? They don't actually say that. They say it looks as good.
Yeah.
They don't say, man, it looks good. It looks better. They say, oh, you know what? It looks as good. You can barely fucking notice.
Yeah, nah, you can.
And you know
definitely, it's two different sides. If you like the look of like a fluffy on top lawn, that's
I thought you were going to say something else, but yeah.
That's your prerogative. But I personally like the look of a court lawn a lot better than a mulch lawn. Not to say that mulching is not the right or wrong thing to do, but I definitely prefer the look of a court lawn to a mulch lawn.
Yeah, I mean, look, this isn't about right or wrong. This is just about the question, the service, But one thing that I want to just leave everyone with on this is that when you mulch, if you're a mulching business and you're mulching and everything like that, you kind of do the job and you might glance at it and you're like, looks pretty good. Hey, I'm out of there. And you don't wake up and see it the next day, or you don't, you know what I mean? You don't see it in 2 days' time. You don't go and sit on the lawn and hang out with your family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like because I've done it here. Like I've done everything. And I'm telling you now, like, because I'm no idiot. Like I am Mr. Catch Pro, right? And I use a Catch Pro on my own lawn.
Yeah.
But I've had times this summer where if I was either running out of time in the week or my back wasn't feeling so good, it's like, fuck it, I'm just going to run over it with the Pro Shield.
Yeah.
Now, also, I do need to say that the Pro Shield is not is going to do a far better job. But, like I'll be playing with my dogs or my kids out in the yard after I've done it. And I'm like, man, this just looks shit.
Yeah. I catch everything here. It just, I don't want the fucking kids bringing grass into the house, to be honest. That's one of the biggest things is like, if there's like a bit, especially now it's starting to cool down, there's a little bit of dew on the ground. Fucking old mate goes and takes a piss on the front yard. He tracks in half a kilo of green with him. I'm the one that gets in trouble.
I feel like this episode is just going to cause heaps of shit, eh?
No, we'll be right, Russ. We'll be right.
Right, well, I'm out of questions.
Questions?
Well, you're up.
I'll make this my last one. So you can only make money in summer.
Shit.
Sure, cause
I would even argue that you can make more money in winter.
100%. Yeah, we do make more. Well, we did last 2 seasons. We made more money than we would in summer. So it's definitely a bullshit for me. Bullshit.
Now, look, I do think, there's tons of businesses out there that will make less in the winter.
Yeah.
But if you are motivated and you're a go-getter and you obviously have a broad range of services, and you really, gardening is Australia's, favorite pastime, right? Well, at least it was, 20 years ago. I don't know if it still is, but, man, I remember like me and Rusty or, whoever my workers were at the time, we would, we'd always look back on those winter times and we'd be like, yeah, I remember, you got your jeans on, you got a flanny on and you're just hooking into the gardens, you're chopping shit down, you're clearing out spaces, and you could charge a fortune for that shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
as opposed to, you're rocking up to work at 6 o'clock in summer, dehydrated already. Fucking, you've got the wackest tan ever.
Yeah.
You got your fucking socks on when they're not on. You're wearing a wife beater constantly. You fucking can't eat because it's just too hot. You can't do anything because it's too hot. When you compare that working experience with what can be done in winter, just from a temperature point of view. Now, don't get me wrong. You got like one of our good Catch Pro customers. He's like located in Jindabyne, which is at the bottom of Kosciuszko or whatever.
Yeah. Cold as fuck.
Yeah, like the grass turns off at like I actually believe that they're like one of the very few that do snow removal, so they're probably pretty lucrative. But if you're not equipped for that,
Yeah, exactly. Now, well, we find that mulching comes up. One of the little things that I do is during the year, because we do lots of complexes, is jobs will pop up all through the year, and I'll make sure that they get pushed to winter. So, little landscaping jobs like backfilling retaining walls, stuff like that, like jobs that we definitely can do during winter, and they're nicer to do in winter. Like mulching in fucking summer, oh my God, it's bad enough in winter. You get steam and shit coming up out of the mulch, but when it's summer, like it just sticks to you because you're sweating so bad. It's fucking everywhere. It steams twice as much. Like shoveling is easier. Like just everything's easier to do, like physical labor in winter. And we just push our customers to make sure that all of those shit jobs, well, not shit jobs, but all the jobs that aren't just maintenance jobs are pushed to winter. So yeah, make that money. Keep the boys busy.
Absolutely. Now, do you have one more sneaky question there, bro?
I do. It's a shit one. I left it to last, but it was just you need a trailer to have a successful business.
Oh. No,
yes. It wasn't a terrible question. I just thought like it wasn't like a.
I'm gonna call bullshit just because there are some sick as truck setups, which realistically is kind of the same as a trailer, right?
Yeah, I was kind of leaning more towards like the guy with the ute, and I've seen some fucking incredible ute setups.
Yeah, I just think, look, what I think is different. Obviously, there's different markets. You know, if you got inner suburban Sydney where you can't drive a trailer around,
Yeah.
you know, we probably look at it as like, man, where do you put your rubbish?
Yeah.
But, you know, if they're set up, you know, they might be making more per lawn. Like they might be mowing a lawn for like 90 or $100 that we're only getting for 70 here.
Yeah.
And then they, you know, maybe are using the green waste bin on site. Like there's a lot of variables there. So I'll definitely bullshit. Also, vans are coming back in.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You know, back when I started,
Anthony Moore and Conrad started that.
and there's others, but you know, I mean, both of those lads have got successful businesses, so
Yeah.
we could never call.
I don't know if you can see it on your end, but there's 10 minutes to go.
The whole thing froze, and I just didn't know what was going on.
Oh, really? Oh, that's mad. Yeah.
And we're pretty much out of questions. So
Yeah, I'm done. I actually had those ready fucking yesterday, which is odd for me.
not me. I jotted mine down this afternoon about an hour before.
Oh,
Now-
that's all right. That's how we roll.
Now, how did you feel about today's episode? Because I had a lot of fun.
I did.
And obviously there was, you know, we stirred up some shit, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I hope everyone, you know, thinks it's in good fun.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens in the coming days, weeks, months. The hate will come through.
And hopefully for everyone who likes to watch the show on YouTube, we'll be in person next week.
Definitely.
Our schedules are just colliding more and more, which is obviously making things difficult.
Yeah. And you're gross at the moment, so.
Yeah. So, but I'm about to jump in bed with the shrinkter. So,
Yeah, fucking good on you. I just heard everyone's out at the moment. Fucking podcast finishes and they stop stomping around above my head.
yeah, well, I told my kids to be quiet or I'll smack them, eh?
I'll flog ya.
All right, everyone. Until next week, I am at Catch Pro and he is at TBL and we are out of time. Thanks for listening.
Peace.